You're watching RVT, Rashids Teletube, serving nations worldwide. Up next on RVT, Rashids Video Tube, it's the Rashid and Jan Show. Following that is Rashid's Cyber Tube. Once again, we're in the midst of mirth and cheer. And what better way but to spend your holiday season here on RVT, where it's Rashid all the time. You're watching RVT, Rashid's Teletube worldwide. Where is Rashid all the time? You're watching Rashid's RVT. You're watching RVT, and this is Rashid wishing you a very happy holiday season. This RVT Rashids Video 2 broadcasting is brought to you partly by the Rashid and Jan Show and by delicious, refreshing strawberry milk. Drink an explosion of strawberry flavor in every drop. So like Rashid and Jan say, drink up. You're watching RVT, Rashids Teletube Worldwide. Where is Rashid all the time? You're watching Rashids RVT. You're watching RVT Rashids Video 2. Oh, what an atmosphere. From Social Media Broadcasting System, this is RVT, Rashids Video 2. This is a great party. Smashing. Especially the chocolate sweets. The chocolates. Enduring. Great music. Did I mention the chocolates? The sweets? Yes. I hope they'll throw some more parties like this. With the chocolates. Yes. Absolutely. Make your holiday chocolates the talk of the evening. And happy holidays from RVT. Happy holidays, everybody! From all of us here at Rashid the Mystical Sorcerer. Put it on this, spread it on that. A little on this and a whole lot of that. Everything's better with butter. Whip it on this, a little on that. Smear it on this and square it on that. Everything's better with butter. Now you can square it up with butter or margarine. Electrify your taste buds with the rich and satisfying taste of butter. Whip it on this, graze it on that. Square it on rice, now that's where is that? Everything's better with butter. Now get to the grocers and square it up. Also in spread style to go easy on bread. Oh, I feel so terrible. What's the matter, guy? Oh, you wouldn't understand. Oh, come on, it can't be all that bad. Okay, if I must, Rashid, I'll tell it to you. I have no sweets this year. You have no sweets? Well, that's not good. No, it's not good at all. I want something sugary. I want something delicious. Here's the idea. Try some chocolate bites. Chocolate bites? Yup, chocolate bites. Tiny chocolate bits wrapped up. After dinner or evening leisure. They're great. Chocolate bites. Hey, guy. Yeah? Are you feeling any better? Long as I got my chocolate bites. I know. So, guys, when you're out, pick some up. It's great. Isabella. Rashid's startling adventurous computer novel created and written by Rashid. A Rashid Greek mythology story narrated by Rashid himself. Now streaming on RVT, Rashid's video tube. Come follow along today. Question: where on RVT can you go to hear someone say, Papa, Papa, Papa?
Papa, whatever do you mean?
Question: where on RVT can you go to see a young girl crave peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
I am gaining weight, Roxy, but I know it's not because of my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Papa, whatever are you talking about?
Well then, where can you catch the adventures of Linda Lace to see all these and more?
Okay, Papa, you had me at peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Can we go back there? Because I'm hungry.
I'm sure you are, dear. I'm sure you are. But anyway, be sure to look for the adventures of Linda Lace, now streaming on RVT.
Papa, did you say peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Look, on your social devices. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Rashid's Mansion's mouse. And I want to help you guys get a good night's rest. Take a look. My back. Oh. Why should you guys suffer with stiff back, aching joints, and so on from a worn-out mattress? There are hundreds of affordable mattress dealers in your area, and all is needed is you. Reliable mattresses that fit your comfort level. Spring design style, chic and firm. Thank you, Rashid Mattress Mouse. Anytime. An RVT ad is worth two in a home. And speaking of ads, don't forget about this one. And size your bedding up for comfort. A new mattress and a good night's rest awaits you. Just go to www.mattress.com. That's www.mattress.com. Anyway! You're watching RVT, an international broadcasting station. From Social Media Broadcasting System, this is RVT, Rashid's Video Tube. Did you know RVT is like delicious food? Well, it is. With the right fresh Rashid content not found anywhere but here. Once you get the hang of this place, all will agree it is delicious viewing. RVT, Rashid's Video Tube. Where's Rashid all the time? Oh, what an atmosphere. This is a great party. Smashing. Especially the chocolate sweets. The chocolates enduring. Great music. Did I mention the chocolate? The sweets? Yes. I hope they'll throw some more parties like this. With the chocolates. Yes. Absolutely. Make your holiday chocolates the talk of the evening. And happy holidays from RVT. Watching RVT, Rashids Teletube, serving nations worldwide. The following program is rated XXR by the Rashid Entertainment RVT Committee, coinciding with the United States, UK, and National Entertainment Community Association. Watch with caution. May contain dry speech and adult situations. And now, enjoy the show. Peace and foreclosure I give to thee, all of you who dare to enter the floodgates of Cowboy Rashid. Welcome all of you. This is our very first Cowboy Rashid episode, sweetheart. You know that? Our very first one. And it fits so perfectly with RVT's Dark Portal Holiday Season 2020. Yes, it does. How you guys doing? I try so hard to watch myself around RVT so as not to get too playful with the indulgence of playful entertainment around here. I try so hard, you know. Marie Antoinette ruled in a playful way. So what happened to her? Well, the French Revolution broke out and her head was decapitated. So what does that yield? Well, Marie Antoinette didn't take her job seriously, and the end results were bleak. A little lesson for all of us that desperately wants to goof off non-stop in life. In other words, it's time to get serious, don't you think? Now follow Cowboy Rashid and you'll catch on to what's going on right this way. And I catch you and catch on you shall. But first, I have some shows coming up, guys. I have Space Renegades coming up on RVT, and I also have Rashid's Aqua Rangers coming up along with Dragonfly. Three powerhouse Rashid animated shows coming up. You guys should really enjoy that. Really enjoy it. So keep your eyes open for that. Now the topic we're going to be talking about is questionable. But even though it's questionable, I still feel like it's necessary to discuss. And it's a topic that we talked, joked, riddled, laughed, gagged, everything about on RVT so many times, and I just can't let go of this magnificent attempt to bring about a godly utopia. What an amazing attempt. More like I ever known, ever. Time to unveil this magnificent historical event. It's the demise of Jim Jones, the People's Temple. That kind of effort they put in there gets my full respect. Never will I overlook, or shall I say, never will we around here overlook what had taken place in the jungles of Guyana. And it just so happens that one prospector who was there left a note behind hoping that someone finds it. And written on that note were the words, and I do quote this: "We didn't want this to happen. We wanted to live. This incident must be talked about over and over and over again." So, indeed, I took it upon myself to fulfill the dying wishes of so many who lost their life in Guyana. Whether in humor or otherwise, we around here will never, ever forget. With that being said, one cannot neglect the pondering mind from wondering what really went wrong. I mean, really, what really happened? None of us was there. And to be real and to keep shit real, they have these so-called survivors existing today. I know, that's what I'm about to say. I know you're right. You're right. They have these so-called survivors that exist today. You know? And what I'm really trying to say is that if someone from the news in your area offering an award for $5,000 for an actual real account of a UFO sighting or UFO experience, how many calls do you think they'll get in a 24-hour period? Really? A child goes missing and all kind of kooks come out. So I'm not buying these survival accounts of they was there or what have you. Anything for attention these days. And from what I gather, when I was younger, around this time when this happened, it was reported that there was absolutely no survivors. None whatsoever. None. So we around here at RVT are going to stick to the hard facts coupled with our genuine notions. And in that way, I think we'll stay on the safe side. Absolutely. We'll stay on the safe side that way. Simply put, don't look for any survival interviews. Don't look for any okay, I survived interviews around here. Absolutely not. Yeah, we're not going for that. We're not going for that. So when it comes to cults and underground societies, it's no telling what's being discussed behind closed doors. Nonetheless, whatever it was that was spoke about and talked about was so fucking horrific that it cost a congressman's life, as well as over 900 people, as well as over 300 children. This is the reason. This is the reason why there's no interviews. We're not advocating any interviews around here, because whatever they're talking about on these interviews is no excuse or reason for such a catastrophe. It's definitely something. It's definitely, that's what I'm saying. Something else happened behind the curtain, man. I mean, let's keep it real. Something else happened. And what was that something else? Like the Tootsie Roll commercial, the world may never know. You know, the world may never know. Needless to say, here is a summary of the incident in a nutshell. Jonestown, November 18, 1978. Location of the mass murder-suicide of members of the California-based People's Temple cult at the behest of their charismatic but paranoid leader Jim Jones in Jonestown Agriculture Commune, Guyana. And that's where it was, right there on the screen. The death toll exceeded 900, including some 300 children, making the incident one of the largest mass deaths in American history. I can think of some other ones, but yeah, it just says one of the largest, man. It's one of the, because I remember some worse, you know, like. But yeah, that's the summary of it. The incident took place, like I said, in Guyana, aka Jonestown. Of course, they nicknamed it Jonestown after Jim Jones, the founder. And on the screen is the map where this plantational apocalypse took place. You know, I like using maps, man. You know, I like using maps. And this would be still kind of hard to, without the area, like, yeah, quarantine like that, like mapped out, like, you know, isolated like that with lines. It would be hard to figure out exactly where they was. I mean, they really they really nest themselves deep into the jungle. I mean, really deep into there, you know. And as we go on, I'll show you how they travel and how the road was just like, there's no way nobody could live out here. I mean, they really hid themselves. But that map there shows you where they were. And, you know, with that in mind, these followers of Jim Jones were so convinced that Jim Jones was some special preacher. He came off like a father, from what I understand. A real that's what I'm saying, like a real father. A real friend. A real everything. I mean, you name it. and it was provided for these people, whether it was needing medication, schooling, employment, even if they needed a doctor. He provided clothes on their back and a soft bed for them at night. Anything. I mean, it was the perfect oasis for anyone seeking refuge from this racist, money-hungry, dying society that existed way back then and that exists today. Judging from personal interviews, who could deny or cause questions of doubt that something wrong was brewing in the back?
Well, now that's hard to describe because it's the most beautiful place I've ever been in all my life. There's so many wonderful things about it. For instance, it just rained, a lovely rain this afternoon, and I'm now looking at the sky, and you can look all the way around. It's just at sunset time, and it's just gorgeous. There's a picture all around. And the cottages, the dormitories, we have dormitories that are just beautiful, and for those seniors who cannot walk long distances, there is a place provided for them where they can be near the medical staff and they're taken care of like babies. And our children are so beautiful, lovely classrooms, and they're so happy. You just can't imagine that all the hundreds of us here are so extremely happy. I wish I could describe the whole thing to you, but it's hard. But I just must say this. I can't help but say that none of this would have been possible had it not been for Jim Jones. What is it?
They sounded so happy and content. Well, if you ask me, you can really learn a very valuable lesson from this entire incident, because don't forget one important thing, and it's the same. Times change, but people don't. And in the very diverse and confused world we live in these days, this incident maybe can shed a little bit of light on not only on the characters and prospectors we meet from day to day, but how much, no matter how hard we say we strong in the head or can't be persuaded, we too can be misled in a very dangerous course. It's possible. Learning from the mistakes of others can no doubt aid in our own life course on a personal note. Yet today, people may still argue that this incident was a government conspiracy of some sort, or hold up high the notion, was this suicide or murder? After careful review of the death tape, it was only a few that disagreed with what they decided to do, but most of them applauded their choice to end their life. No doubt. As for me, I quite don't get it. I was a child back in these days, and I do recall the era. It was a time for peace and love and freedom. It really was. It was amazing. In other words, it was very common for someone to get involved in a spiritual group, a friendship group, or simply, to put it bluntly, a cult. And there were so many around, especially at St. Ashbury, San Francisco. But we'll get into that a little later on in another time. But for all sense and purposes, being young back in the 60s and 70s, you will want to get involved in a group of some sort. I myself was brought up in a group, a church to be specific, but that's another story as well. Today, not too many people are or want to get involved in groups or clubs. The fast pace and selfishness that flourishes day to day persuade people to walk in a more independent path. And personally, who am I to say if it's wrong or right? But one thing's sure, independent rules in this year, the day of 2020. And the spiritual cult days are long, long past us. But still, it was so good on our part that so many records were recorded of one's beliefs and practices, to let others learn of their ways, and in turn, we get to enjoy what they themselves experienced. From the looks of it, it was easier to trust back then than today, which is a blow to our standpoint. I hate to say that, but yeah, I mean, it will be good to just to taste some of that. back the way it was, Yeah, no, it would really be. So the mentality and the believing that leaders had spiritual attributes or powers were of the norm back then than it is today. So when did the turn occur? When did people wise up and say, all this is bullshit? I really can't say. But around here, we indulge in what's left behind, giving us a foregleam how things used to be. And in turn, if we have the right heart condition, meaning an open mind, we can experience people in a different way, like never before. Their love becomes our love. Their hardships becomes our hardships. And their faults becomes our faults. It's no wonder why the Rashids RVT is primarily the only place you can come to enjoy past Thanksgivings. Simply amazing. Which brings us back to which brings us right back to square one, first base. It must have been all joy to be with a real family that's different than your own, a spiritual one. And what is more fascinating is that they really believed they were fulfilling Bible verses. When Jesus said, if you lose father, mothers, brothers on account of me, you will gain more fathers, mothers, and brothers, etc. So in a way, it must have been a visual, amazing sight to behold. And while the St. Ashbury hippie generation was proceeding in the summer of love and peace, it's kind of hard to believe that in these walls, confounded in these walls, was something way different stewing. And this stew of love and trust was deadly.
Now with each of you, in a fond embrace, a salutary kiss of greeting to your neighbor, let's fill this atmosphere with warmth and love. How much I love you. Now as we meditate, God is love. Love is a healing remedy. We're going to reach out to areas where man has seemed to have difficulty. As we concentrate that the gifts of the Holy Spirit might function, or what the secularists might speak of as the paranormal, let us believe. Let us believe. Sister Ingram, you're concerned about the losing of your sight.
Just imagine, now we're going to have a little fun. Just imagine walking down the street on a rainy weekday morning and happen to look up and see this sign right here. And just pretend for a second, that you knew the outcome of this ministry. The sign itself began to, take on a different appearance. A cryptic one, if you ask me. But when they say love is blind, don't for one second think that it means opposite sex. Simply put, when they say love is blind, period.
One of the biggest problems that I had were with people rebelling against me because I was a homosexual that was very open about my own being myself. And nobody would seem to want me around. And I always had problems with people accepting the fact that I was myself more so than anything else. And I was on drugs, which was the only thing I had to turn to, I didn't have no had a concept of responsibility what it was, but I couldn't seem to reach that because I didn't have nothing to turn to, being that I was always oppressed by this. And also, I had a very, very militant attitude, very, very militant. Couldn't no one say anything to me hardly without me taking it in a very offensive manner. And I always thought that violence was the answer to everything. That was the only way I seemed to be able to reach people, to be heard.
What has changed all that?
What has changed all that? Concern. True concern that has been shown to me, and belief that someone cares for me. That all this means so much to any individual, to know that someone has a personal concern for them. This is something that's very important to all individuals, I believe. Concern.
Now, before you run off with your thoughts, it is proof after doing some research that these people were truly, truly happy. I mean, they were really, really happy, guys. In their minds, they escaped this troublesome world. And they really believed that Reverend Jim Jones had the power to heal and perform miracles of all sorts. Come to think of it, our minds were a little bit, tweaker back in the 60s and 70s. It was. I mean, it was. Yeah. Leaving our imagination open to all sorts of visual amazements without asking any questions whatsoever. Asking anything. I mean, we believe any $6 million man exists, and he does fight Bigfoot. We just believe anything. Wow, the good old days. Definitely the time of innocence for adults as well as children. In other words, most of us didn't want to even know the secrets of the world. Enjoying the secrets of the world was good enough for us. Yes, it was. Now, a lot of psychiatrists and therapists or people in general speculate that someone has to be lonely or depressed or otherwise to get involved in a religion or cult. But nonetheless, if that's true, then how can you account for the millions of thousands of children brought up in one, then paperclip themselves in joining in later years? Also, people that seek out spiritual awareness doesn't necessarily classify as lonely, considering the fact that millions join the organization with pre-existing Romulenses. So, clearly, it must be a solemn reason, a reason that's not familiar to the ordinary today. Simply put, everyone wants to be loved in one way or another. We're human, therefore, we are capable to love as well as receive love. Thus, being part of an organization will naturally attract people of all sorts, especially those who are attracted to the spirit realm. And in turn, it provides a solemn escape from the world's issues, or, in a lot of cases, responsibilities. Looking at the full picture, one can clearly see why some join some societies. No longer do you have to make career choices, worry about shopping. Bill paying is a thing of the past. It's only reasonable to configure if someone approached you with the will to handle these things, conforming wouldn't be a struggle at all. Also, comparing all of these things to the mere fact of being lonely is no comparison at all. Religious groups, sects, and cult members also look after each other. They're geared towards helping each other whenever and wherever they can, and that's something the world can't provide. So it's only reasonable thinking in a way. You really can't blame a person for wanting to better themselves in a new perspective of life, meaning it's not nearly a bad thing. But when is the line crossed? Or when is it safe to say, this isn't a good idea? Hard to believe, but if someone suspects such a thing, the person or persons in the same environment may be saying the complete opposite. So the mystery, in fact, is the mystery itself. This has been an RVT Rashids Video Tube social media television production. Can somebody give these girls some socks? Good girl. Happy holidays, everybody! From all of us here at Rashid the Mystical Sorcerer. Wishing you the very best this holiday season here on RVT with Rashid all the time. This is a great party, smashing, especially the chocolate sweets. The chocolates, enduring. Great music. Did I mention the chocolates? The sweets? Yes. I hope they'll throw some more parties like this. With the chocolates. Yes, absolutely. Make your holiday chocolates the talk of the evening. And happy holidays from RVT. You're watching RVT, Rashid's Teletube Worldwide. Where is Rashid all the time? You're watching Rashid's RVT. You're watching RVT, an international broadcasting station. Hey guys, you know what this is? Come on. Around here we call this the cure. What? You don't know what the cure is? Well, first, let's talk about what this is. It's syrup. Now I know you use syrup for pancakes and waffles. But did you know there's other kinds of syrup? All from the finest things of the planet. Want strawberry pancakes? Let the cure do its job and transform your regular pancakes into strawberry ones. Okay, want blueberry pancakes? Go out and get blueberry syrup and voila! Blueberry pancakes. Use the flavors on ice cream, pie, and even cereal. No wonder why we call this the cure. It cures everything from plain to fabulous. So, enjoy nature's answer to plain. Look for money-saving coupons in the paper. Hello everybody. Let me take this time to tell you about someone. And believe me this person is worth talking about. Very odd girl, just like her father Rashid. And she lives in that house right there across the street. What makes her odd, you say? Well, For one thing, she drives that strange looking car. She calls it the Beetleberry or something. And she wears the most oddest of clothes, like those flower slippers. And her personality? Well...
Someone is baking cherry pie. Yeah, that's it. Someone is baking cherry pie. That's what it is. It's cherry pie. Yes, cherry pie.
Yup, cherry pie. Cherry cereal. And cherry everything. And she's addicted to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And the way she and her cousin act, well, let's just say I think she does the acting.
Linda, don't you think you're getting too old for that? I mean, you are 19, and please don't expect me to participate in such an infantile activity. Are you sure? That still works, and with better traction. Really, Linda? Be a woman?
Now Roxy is in college and drives an ice cream truck. But Linda is a model, as you see in that picture there.
What do you mean I'm not the finalist? They're bad. These girls here are better than me? They're more beautiful and stuff than me? Now it's time for my consequences. I said now it's time for my consequences. The judges are stupid. The people in those chairs are stupid. Even these stupid bikinis we're wearing is stupid. These girls are not prettier than me. You learn this?
They both have a friend named Cinnamon that works in a hot dog shop. Such a sweet girl.
Are you saying that hot dogs are not women's food? Are you saying that hot dogs are not women's food? Huh? Huh, Roxy? Well, Linda, well, this conversation is over, Rover. This conversation is over, Rover. It's over, Rover.
But not all their conversations fall by the wayside.
Sometimes I think that I need to go on a diet. But I know, I know I eat healthy. I mean, strawberries and cherries ain't fattening, and neither is my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Right, Roxy? Well, Linda, just look at this gorgeous supermodel queen. I mean, who would ever look at a queen and not think of yours truly? I mean, really? Oh, God, Linda.
Oh! She's a writer, just like her father, who was a cartoonist. She kicked dragon butts all in her stories.
Women don't take that from dragons. Women, you better not treat a woman like that. Dragons, that's dragon crap. Got it?
Mercy. And she hates cherry chime. It's a very popular drink. She says the cherries in it are fake.
I just wrote cherry chime in my story. Get off my page. Get off. Get off my page. Get off.
But most important, it's a lot of love between Linda and her cousin Roxy.
Boy, I'm glad we're together. I love you so much, Roxy. I love you too, Linda.
What a special house, I must say. What a special house. Linda Lace, now streaming on RVT.
Stop hating. Love is greater.
Ice cream, balls, shoes, socks, all on social media. Laughing, playing, having fun, all on social media. Books, trains, weight loss gains, all on social media. Different worlds, cute little girls, things that will make you lose your curls, all on social media. Cartoonish babes, the twerking gays, the top 10s that will make you be amazed, all on social media. Rashid Arman people love, all without a lot of subs, all on social media. That's Rashid's social media. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're watching RVT, an international broadcasting station. You're watching RVT, Rashids Teletube, serving nations worldwide. You're watching RVT, and this is Rashid wishing you a very happy holiday season. And now, enjoy the show. Greetings, RVT Rashid Video Tube content lovers, and welcome to Rashid's Book Club on RVT, Rashid's Video Tube. And this is my very first sitting of Rashid's Book Club. Very first, so I'm very excited. And this one I consider a special sitting because it's my very first. Now please be patient as I try to make this festive as possible. Like a pair of shoes breaking in. I'm sure this will get easier later on. Sweetheart, are you ready to do this? Good. You know, I get a deep fascination with writing, period. And what's surprising about writing, what blessings, what benefits you get from writing is that you get to write freely and turn around and see that whatever you wrote is a strong possibility of becoming a book, whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not, it can be a book. You know, you may surprise yourself and turn around and say, hey, this could be a novel or autobiography. It may surprise yourself. And in my case, I found through my past experience, that's what happened to me. Unfortunately, I wasn't that fortunate enough to hold on to what I've written because other people found it fascinating, so they took the liberty to take it. And I'm going to just say it bluntly like that. They found a liberty to take it. So I never really got to it to decide what to do with these writings. After all, when you write in these journals or diaries, you don't quite know what you're going to do with that material. You know, I know it's good reading when you look back at it, but when you look back on them, these personal diaries or journals, you'll find that, hey, surprise, you just wrote a book. And you're reading about yourself. It's almost like if you move into an old house or what have you, and you find a diary there from a person or a journal from a person that used to live there before you, and you start reading it. I mean, you're reading a book. Somebody created a book, and that's exactly one of the fruits and rewards you get from writing. Because you write, when you adopt a journal or a diary, you're writing your book. And you kind of find that anybody can do it. So in my case, in my past, that's what I found. So I took to it and grew it out on a whole nother level. Where y'all know on RVT I get to make us some shows to look at, and we get to enjoy these shows and have a very vivid and wild imagination while you do it, and really get into it. You really get into it. And speaking of getting into stuff, this episode of Rashid's Book Club is one we all familiar with, because around RVT I talk about her all the time. All the time. Practically every show I talk about her. Every show. But we'll get into that. I'm gonna share with you a couple of books. This person will be talking about is part of Dow Nation. And you yourself might be wondering, what is Dow Nation? Dow Nation is a gathering of stories and events that spotlighted on the Dow, and it's a show that holds a lot of stories and so forth. And Linda Lace is part of it. That's who we'll be talking about today. She's part of it. But as you see the book on the screen there, I have a Dow Nation book that I plan to share. Maybe I'll bring that on the Rashids Book Club, and we'll talk about that also. I think that would be a grand idea to do. Also, I have... let's see here. I have a book for this. As you see, I make books. This is a book club one that I keep reminders and so forth like that, which is pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting to have a book club book. I don't think I'm going to share that with you guys, because that's for personal notes about this show we're doing here. So I don't think there's no need to share that one with you guys. But I will be sharing Dow Nation with you. This setting of Rashids Book Club is about, like I said, Linda Lace. Linda Lace. Now, what's fascinating about Linda Lace, and y'all know y'all get to see her show on RVT, Rashids Video Tube. She has a show on RVT. And so far she had one episode. She has another show coming up. Alright, she has another show coming up. And in this book club sitting, she has a music video I'm going to share with you guys. So that's pretty exciting. And she'll have other music videos that's going to be featured on this book club, inside this book club also. As we do other book clubs, you'll see more videos of her singing, or sometimes just in the music video in general. She won't be singing, so you should really enjoy that. Very fascinated with her, Linda Lace. Very fascinated with her. She has another show, animated show coming out also. Like I said, she did one. We saw that one, and she has another one coming out. But in this sitting of Rashids Book Club, we're going to be talking about that. But what's unique, like I was saying about this, as you see, that's Linda Lace right there. If not in cartoon form, in reality form. What's fascinating about Linda Lace, what's fascinating about her, is that in the animated show she has, I'm her father, and I'm never seen in the animated show. But it's Papa this and Papa that, Papa. She drives people crazy with that Papa shit. If you're watching the show, she'll drive you crazy with that Papa said this and Papa said that. She'll drive you completely fucking nuts with it. You know, I myself like to have grew up with somebody to look at like that, to always talk about. You know, if my mama or my papa raised me and I'm real close to them, you will quote them in your life also as a youngster coming up. You would. If they were close enough to you, they gotta be really close to you though. I mean like really close to you. And you'll be quoting them when you're with your friends and you're hanging out or whatever. You will be quoting what they say and everything like that. It's funny how Linda Lace does that about our papa. She does that. This book right here, this written that I wrote about Linda Lace, I'm going into character, meaning I'm playing the father of Linda Lace inside of the animation, which I find very unique. And the explanation of why I raised her that way. It gotta be a reason why I raised Linda Lace that way. It has to be a reason. It has to be some... She doesn't have Down syndrome. And she's not a needy child of one who's the unfortunate. But it's like I have to have a reason why I raised her that way. It has to be a reason. I raised her that way on purpose. And we're going to find out why. You know, we're going to find out why I raised her that way. What was going through my head when I raised her that way? What was I thinking when I raised her that way? What was I thinking? So if you take a look at this right here, this is Linda Lace's profile. You see Linda Lace. Then you see her cousin, Roxy, who lives with us also. And then down below you have her best friend. Her best friend is Cinnamon. So that's her best friend. And those are the characters, the main stars of the film, of the animation that streams on RT Rashid's video too. They're the main ones. Primarily there is none else. Just three. Basically. If they come across some strangers, yeah, if they come across somebody else, that's a different story and stuff like that. So, basically it's just those three. The fewer the better inside of a story. In some cases, and this is just one of those cases. Okay. Now, right now, before we get started on the book club, also at the end of this, I have some novels that you guys can check out. Now, these novels I want to share with you. These novels in which I'm going to share with you, you can go to audiobook, or you can pick them up at your local bookstore online. But they're supposed to be very good books, and they're suspenseful books, psychological thriller books. Just got a couple I want to share with you, so maybe you'll be interested in them. They're good reads. You'll see what I mean. They're very, very good reads. So you know that. But I'll share with you. I'll share that with you at the end of this setting. Now, without further ado, let's look at Linda Lace's music video, shall we? Before we get started. And then you'll get an idea of, okay, what was going through my head when I raised her this way. Because she's a celebrity around RVT. But we'll get all into that. You will know what's going on. You will follow what's going on. As this progresses, you will catch on to what we're doing here. You'll have a better understanding. Some of you may be up in the air with what you're looking at right now and don't understand. But as we go on, you'll catch on to what we're doing. So, without further ado, enjoy this video from Linda Lace, my daughter. Now, check it out.
What your friends will say is fine, but can't repeat with this pillow talk of mine. Oh, I don't wanna say that I'm no fool, but I'm teaching you like what you never learned in school. Oh no, some friends who tell me wrong from right.
Now, let me explain. Linda is an RVT celebrity. So, you guys have to expect more music videos from her. She's a celebrity around here. Some of those videos might as well be on this Rashid book club sitting. Some of them. Some won't, perhaps. Some won't. We haven't decided. Right? We haven't decided, right? We didn't decide. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. But it was a lot of fun to do. It was fun to do with her. Very fun to do that video with her. Anyway, I'm her father, Rashid. I'm her father, and I have something to say. So in a way, this is another part of the Adventures of Linda Lace. Her show, The Adventures of Linda Lace. Just say this right here. Not the book club in general, but the this reading right here. This right here that's going to be in the Rashid book club. This is another part of The Adventures of Linda Lace. This is just another part. You can see it in this. And you'll see what I mean as I go along. You'll see what I mean. It just so happens it could fit on Rashid's book club. Rashid's book club. So, without further ado, let's begin reading, shall we? Chapter 1. The Love Reason. The Chronicles of Linda Lace. The year is 1969, and I am famished. Let me see, can I turn this down? How about that? Okay. The year is 1969, and I am famished. Exalted to the point of fainting. Being a proud father is just part of the situation. Up all night, diaper changing, putting up with cries of a newborn is to be expected, I suppose. Now, the child's mother is not to be mentioned, primarily because there isn't any. You see, I made it a mission of mine to be a father, not just to anyone, but a special one, who's straight from my seed or sperm, with the same likeness and attributes as mine. Needless to say, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Thus, indeed, the future belongs to no man. But yet, and still, who can argue the fact that we are still at times the master of our own destiny? Some men may disagree, but I, for one, surely don't. Linda Rashid Lace is her name, and she is indeed one to take note of. Very beautiful in appearance. I do realize she should create such a stir when she gets older. And if my job becomes easy, then so be it. I strongly look forward to it. Not saying at all that I don't enjoy early parenting, but it's the late night awakenings that's pondering to me. Oh, did I mention I was in the but did I mention I was in the service of my government? So such a responsibility was a natural attack on me. So me, for my part, didn't find it much fault. And surprisingly, some nights, I actually look forward to it. I think strangely, she also. It's almost as if a blueprint or a man was big. A blueprint or a man was being laid out for future happenings. Some of this stuff I wrote, I look back on. I'm like, what did I mean by that? You know, when you write, sometimes you do that. You look back at it. You say, what the fuck was I talking? What is that? But that's how long that I wrote this. It's been that long. I understand it, but as time go on, you gain other knowledge. You say, okay, I could have said it this way, or okay, I could have said it that way. You know? And in a case like this, it's kind of like that. But good, interesting. All true. This part right here, it says, I think strangely, she also, then it's a period. It's almost as if a blueprint or a man was being laid out for future happenings. Or manifestation, maybe that's a short for that, I don't know. Don't quite understand that, but my destiny, maybe a blueprint. Speaking of myself, we'll just stick to that. Okay, continuing on. What school would she attend? What career will she adapt? It's just some of my questionings. Flamentations. Not being, what's this? What the? Not lead time to my questioning. Not lead time my questioning. Flamentation is not lead time my imagination got the best of me. I don't understand how I wrote that. Not lead time my questioning. Not lead time my imagination got the best of me. That's odd. My imagination got the best of me. I continue to aid in my solace by saying, I all will know that it will all turn out all right. I'm just trying to decipher that word right there that I put there. I'm trying to decipher that shit. Because sometimes you write words when you're writing. Well, that's the thing. Hold on. When you writing and you look back at your writing, it's like when you do a movie and a lot of celebrities don't go watch their own movies. I don't know how that is for writers, but when you go back and read your material, you're like, what did I fucking mean when I, it's like, not being my imagination. Oh, not letting. Okay, here we go. Not letting my imagination get the best of me. I continue to aid in my solace by saying all will turn out all right. Okay. It better. After all, I'm up. Oh, after all, my knees can't take any more horseback riding. Okay. All right. Okay. Got it. Got it. My knees can't take any more horseback riding. My knees can't take any more horseback riding. All right. Cherries and strawberries. Cherries and strawberries. Cherries and strawberries. Is there anything else this child of mine will have? Well, I should have known it will be this way. Of course, I'm talking about the rebelliousness spirit she possesses inside her. Rebelling against other flavors is not surprising. It's that same rebellious spirit that prevented her from staying in her crib as an infant. What was so barren about staying in her crib? I'm actually surprised her pudgy little legs didn't get stuck between the bars. Trolleying along, one may wonder why I didn't have a sort of nun, a personal nun, or personal nanny or nurse to watch after her. Oh dear, I do think it's because of my stubbornness, I suppose. Or maybe, just maybe, it's just because I choose to raise Linda myself. All by myself. Surely that's the reason indeed. I think so. When I think about that, I do. I think so. Now, of course, guys, y'all catch on to what's going on. This is, I'm the father. Y'all watch the animation cartoon of Linda Lace. Okay, I'm her dad. This is what she's my child, and I wrote things about her, keeping track of her into one story. Interesting. I'm her father, of course, and y'all watch the animation. Well, this is what I got to say about how I raised her, Okay, now, we're still on chapter 1, The Love Reason, the Chronicles of Linda Lees. So, alright, let's see. Times were very rough back in these days. Now, of course, this is back in the 60s. I was born in 69, so. Time was really rough back in these days. Very selfish. One couldn't trust anyone. So why would I trust Linda's life in the hands of another person? I think I made the right choice. She always smiling at everyone, and she always smiling at anyone and everything. That made her quite vulnerable, which in turn raised red flags in my head. That's how I was when I was little. So it's because she's like me. Yeah, she's like her father. So that's how I was. I was vulnerable because I was always smiling at everybody, and it's okay. All right. So this raised red flags in my head. So I came out. I must do this job myself. I must raise her. Homeschooling. Homeschooling was decided long before she could walk. And I, for my part, was eager to teach her. Imagine loving your child so much. Your child is nice, smiling at everybody. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna read. I don't trust her around the world. I'm not gonna go for that shit. I'm not going for that shit. I'm not going for that shit. I'm not gonna go for that shit, and that's just the way it is. I'm not going for that shit. I'll raise her my damn self. I don't trust her around people. It's a crazy, sick world. It's a sick world. It's sick. It's sick. I don't trust her. I'll raise her myself. Okay. I wanted to teach her everything. Maybe perhaps learn things together. Maybe perhaps we could learn things together. I grew up in a great deal of poverty. Indeed, I was very, very poor. I couldn't afford a sandwich at lunch and a snack for breakfast. Yeah, this is true. 100%. 100%. I like that saying I wrote there. It says, I couldn't afford a sandwich at lunch and a snack for breakfast. That's kind of funny. I was determined Linda's life will be different. I was determined Linda's life was going to be different. She would have absolutely no idea what poverty was or is. She will absolutely have no idea what poverty is. No idea whatsoever. And I've succeeded. Most, if not all, of her childhood was a happy one. And I planned it that way. No daughter of mine was going to go through hard times, at least not financially. Normal problems I could account for, but going to bed on an empty stomach is another thing. Indeed, my daughter would not be raised like me. Yeah, see that? My daughter would not be raised like me. And that's quoted. And it's a period. I tickle her feet right before bedtime and in bath time just to hear her laugh. I relished every moment of it, every second. My mother tantalized me in my ways, so I guess I know how she felt. She never had to need or crave attention like me when I was a toddler. So in other words, I gave Linda Lace, everything that I didn't have. Even when it comes to parenting, I gave her everything I didn't have. And this is why she's the way she is. This is all the way why she is. This is a whole book, and we're going to go through this whole thing. I got some other books too, but this is why you see her on The Adventures of Linda Lace and why she's the way she is. Okay. So she will never, I got it written here, she will never need to crave attention like me when I was a toddler. Though it wasn't due to negligence on my part that that my mother withheld these qualities. It was sheer out of tiresomeness from working long hours day shift. I completely understood what tired was. I completely understood what tired was just as much as I understood hunger. Linda just understands love. Very interesting. Okay? Well, yeah. I like that. Linda just understands love. Giving her no kind of badness. Giving her no kind of badness. There's a lot of people today, my age, who grew up with hearing fighting, seeing violence, seeing this, seeing that, stuff like that. Linda, on the other hand, no, I've raised her away from everything of the sort. She don't know nothing about it. Of course, she come across, she ain't like she's, she know about badness and poverty and all of that. But she don't know nothing about it. Meaning, yeah, she don't know nothing about it. She never tasted. She never tasted. And that's good. Because most people today are in poverty. And I made a decision, she's not going to know what that is. She's not going to know what that is. So, excuse me, continuing on. Thus, as her father, I have or feel no guilt or shame or remorse raising Linda with a keen eye on peace and security. Okay, let me do that again. Let me do it again. Thus, as her father, I have or feel no guilt, shame, or remorse raising Linda. With a keen eye on peace and security was foremost to me. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? You got some parents that raise kids. And they know how they raise them. My adopted parents were son of a bitches, too. You can stitch things in your child, and then when they get older, they start acting out of, And my foster parents were son of a bitches, too. But I'm still here, That's the thing. You gotta be victorious. You gotta overcome these things. Don't let it get to you and stuff like that. So, okay. With a keen eye on peace and security was foremost to me. And from my knowledge, everyone wants or needs to feel secure. Creating a peaceful world for my daughter was final. Though I realize not every what I got written here. Let me see here. Wait a minute. Not every parent share in my delight in doing so. The world is not a state to take lightly. Some may bicker, but the question remains, what if I created it? Then can it differ? See? In other words, what if I created this world for my daughter? I won't say I use my daughter for an experiment, because my daughter's not a guinea pig. And if you read this stuff, you start thinking like, well, damn, Rashid, you treat your daughter like a guinea pig, but not really. You're not getting the point. You're not getting the point. You got so many parents that have their kids in certain ways. They don't see nothing wrong with it. They have them staying away from the world, not getting jobs. They just walking around the house, loafing. Yeah, that's the word we use, sweetie, loafing. They loafing. They just walking around the house doing this and that. They just do nothing. And the parents don't see nothing wrong with it. You know? They don't see absolutely nothing wrong with it. But in my case, I don't see nothing wrong with raising Linda this way. That's why, what if I could raise my daughter in her own world? Then will it still be the same? Like when I wrote here, the world is not the one. I got and from my knowledge, everyone wants to feel secure. Creating a peaceful world for my daughter was final, though I realize not every parent share in my delight in doing so. The world is not a state to take lightly. Some may bicker, but the question remains, what if I created it? Then can it differ? You know? What if I created this world for Linda Lease? What if I did that? You know, what if I did that? Fancy that. Me. Religiously focus on the raising of my daughter, Linda, in such a way that the common teacher may frail at the thought. Or shall I say, rotation. For it is indeed, for me, not just an act, but an enjoyable lifestyle for not only her, but for both of us, as an adventure, as you will. Neither one of us give way to criticism. For how can she when it is I, Rashid, who raised her as such? Now, think about that. Amazing. What if that's possible? The potential she has in her is of my doing, and I'm richly proud of it. Yet and still one's thinking may ponder what rewards will be reaped by doing such, or shall I say, living such a lifestyle. The answer will always be simple. The answer will always be simply put: family. See that? Family. Yes, family. And inside of family, there you will find friend, but never foe. Teaching my daughter Linda to love herself is and will always be my greatest joy. I look upon it as being delightful, very delightful, and amazing, and an amazing journey into another dimension. Solace. After all, it is a parent's job to be keen on the raising of their child. Now, look at that. I took great pride in raising Linda. Great pride. More so than we talked about if parents and children get along together. Let me tell you about my best friend and all that. No, I take great pride in that. I grew up, and I came across some people that's like, dad this and your mom this, and they, you know, you get the parents, they got an act going on, like I said on my other show. Yeah. Then when you get by yourself with them, It's totally different. They don't do when their people ain't around. They ain't dad and mom and all that Bill Bixby bullshit. That people, let me tell you about my best friend. My child is my best friend. My dad is my best friend. My mother, it's not like that. They ain't doing it in front of people. So I was close to a family like that. My family was close to a family like that. And these guys was living with us at first. It's strange how families act, how they go about doing things, In other words, Linda, like later on in this book, you're going to find out why Linda Lee's dressed like that. Why she's confident in her body. She's a celebrity, Linda Lace is a celebrity around RVT. She's an RVT celebrity. And as we go on, you're going to see that. You're going to see she's RVT celebrity. And why did she start, why she dressed like that, why I got her to be. How did I put the confidence of womanhood in her? Not to be ashamed of her body and her bust size. I remember I had some friends of women that had big breasts. And they was like, Rashid, my breasts is too big. Now, they used to complain to me. They did. They fucking did. They used to complain my breasts is too big. They wasn't satisfied with their body and stuff. See, my daughter, I raised my daughters. My daughter, she's proud of her body. She's that way for a reason. You see, I created her like that for a reason. You see, that's a woman's figure. You never be ashamed of how you look. You never be. Because you're like that for a reason. Everybody gonna find something wrong with themselves. Ain't nobody gonna just come out and say, okay, I'm perfect, I look good, I like the way I look. And nobody ever in history of living ever was like that. You always gonna come out and say, I don't like this about myself. Okay. What if none of that was in Linda Lace? What if Linda Rashid Lace is a girl that don't know what that is? She, from head to toe, she's perfect. I don't want her around nobody that's going to be putting her down. Say she get enough of that from the neighborhood we live in, Rochville. She walked down the street like that comic thing. Yeah, I saw the comic. She walked down the street and two girls talking about her and shit. Say, oh yeah, her head is empty. Ain't nothing but in her head but cherries. That's all the fuck that's in her head. And this came from a neighbor. I don't even fuck with them neighbors. I don't even fuck with them. But Linda see them from time to time. They just sit and talk about their fucking body. Okay, I'm a cartoonist. I'm rich. Linda Lee's walked by. Oh, there's Linda. Oh yeah. Oh, that's Linda. Yeah, but nothing in her head but cherries. Just like her father, Rashid, and put me in just like her father. Ain't nothing in here but cherries, just like her dad. That's why y'all gonna see on the next Linda Lace episode, she addresses that with Roxy. That's the cousin. And we were talking about her also. But you see the point. I'm raised. Who don't want to be close to their parents? I mean, when you really talk about it, who don't want to be friends with their parents and this shit, Me and my dad best friends. You meet somebody in school, they're a good person, they're a nice person, you want to be friends with them. Then you find out, I'm best friends with my mother or father. You ain't going to be too much best friends with the ass. Got your sweet ass on that. At least that's what it was in my case. You want a good friend, you got to have something in common with them. And one of those attributes is, me and my parents get along. Me and my mother and father get along. Or, downhill, I don't talk to my mother and father. Then they become your best friend. But God forbid, me best friends, we do everything together. Shit, I went through hell. I live in hell with this girl I was with. Live in hell. Her mother, this girl I was with, I'm not lying to you. This girl I was with before. We were so close. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Her and her mother were so close also that her mother used to tape soap operas when we be in school. She taped soap operas, dude. And when she got home, her mother be like, okay, I taped the soap opera so me and you can watch it together. Now look at this fucking bullshit, dude. I forgot what soap opera it was. It wasn't General Hospital. It was that other one, Was it General Hospital? I can't remember. I don't think it was General Hospital. This girl I was with, I was really, really close with her. Her mother, I'm not shitting, taped soap operas for her while she was in school. She come on, alright, they go watch soap operas together. I ain't seen nothing wrong with that. But me and her started to get really close. We was going to get married and everything. And then she started coming on like, Mom, I don't want to see the soap operas. And then her mother said, okay, then Rashid got to go. This bitch is 16, 15 years old. What the fuck she talking about, dude? When you gonna let your child grow up? See, that's what I mean. It's parents out here that's... Now, I'm raising Linda Lace. See the point? See what I'm trying to say? See what I'm trying to say in this shit? I'm raising Linda this way. Who is you to say something the fuck about it? Who is you? Who is you? Who are you to say something about it? Who are you? I was 15 years old. I was 16 years old. And this fucker trying to raise her. Okay, when you come home, you can watch soap operas with your mother. I take the soap operas when you in school. Oh, when we go home, Rashid, you can't call me right away because my mother want me to watch soap operas with her. And I'm sitting there like a dick. Okay. Okay. Rest of the kids going to arcades and shit, because, you know, in the 80s, video games was out. Rest of the kids hanging out, talking on the phone, watching their show, dancing on air and all. This bitch home watching soap operas with her mom. I gotta sit and wait till they finish for she to call me on the telephone. If y'all watch that movie Endless Love, that's how our relationship was. We went through fuck, man. You have no idea. You have no idea. But you see what I'm trying to say? Now, Linda, I'm saying, I'm raising her this way. Okay? Because I don't want no negativity in her. Don't tell her that she's this. Why you wearing those tight clothes like that? Why your breasts hanging at all? Why your shorts tight? Don't do that to my fucking child. She's proud of her womanhood. Don't talk like that. Don't do that to my child. Because these guys got their children doing all kind of shit. Staying in basements, on computers and all that shit. And ain't nothing wrong. I'm for that. Because I'll be one of them. If I was a child, I'll be like that. So I'm for that. But that's not the point. The point is, these people's childs ain't no different. That's the point. So I don't talk about my Linda like that. I'm going to let the book speak. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I'm going to let the book speak. I ain't going to say shit. Because I wrote this. I wrote this book, and I'm going to let the book speak. I wrote this motherfucker here. I wrote this. I'm going to let the book speak. I ain't going to say nothing. 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 I'm going to let the book speak. I'm going to let the book speak. Because I ain't got time for this shenanigans. I really don't got time for it. I'm going to let the book speak. I'm going to start right here. I don't care if I read it already. I don't care. Here we go. Fancy that. Me. Religiously focused on the raising of my daughter, Linda, in such a way that the common teacher may fail at the thought, or shall I say notion. For it is indeed for me not just a act, but an enjoyable lifestyle for not only her, but for both of us, as an adventure, as you will, as an adventure, as you will. Neither one of us give way to criticism. For how can she, when it is I, Rashid, who raised her as such? The potential she has in her is of my doing, and I'm richly proud of it. And yet and still, one's thinking may ponder what rewards will be reaped by doing such. What rewards when doing such? Let me see. Hold on. I got mixed up here. Let me see. By doing such, or shall I say, living such a lifestyle, the answer will always be simply put: family. Yes, family. And inside of family, there you will find friend, but never foe. Teaching my daughter Linda to love herself is and will always be my greatest joy, and I look upon it being delightful, very delightful, and amazing, an amazing journey into another dimension. Solace. After all, it is a parent's job to be keen on the raising of their child. Conquering the challenges, I indeed feel victorious. Victory is mine. I conquered parenthood. It's no mystery to realize that money plays a direct distraction in raising children today. But what if it involves security? Then what will the excuse be? How can one argue? In other words, what is the excuse? It is noteworthy to know that wealthy children are unhappy as well as the not so fortunate. So what does that yield? It yields the life that which a child lives, manner, in all of aspects, which brings us to being richly dependent on each other, which is a good thing. With that in mind, I have to realize that. Wait a minute. I have to realize that. I have to realize that my ink pad, you know how the ink skips and you can't read the whole word? I have to realize that Linda is a girl that will grow to being a woman, a girl. I have a girl that is all mine, no one else's. Should I feel lucky, fortunate? Indeed. Having a girl, I must say, has put my manhood to the test. Next page. Like in their preschool years, such an experience never leaves one's life. But true to the situation, I myself did exactly what Linda did. But my mother didn't care. You see, I'm saying yeah. I was raised the same way. I was raised the same way. She did. I was raised the same way. But my mother didn't care. My mother didn't care. She left anyway. With a warning to myself: if I keep up this nonsense, she will deal me a blow when I get home. And that was something I wasn't looking forward to. Anyway, imagine. Getting placed in Get Set when trying to leave, I struggle ensured. Let me do that again. Getting placed in Get Set, and when trying to leave, a struggle ensures. Getting in under control, you leave, or in this case, I'm talking about my Linda. That means she did the same thing I did when my mother brought me in Get Set, and when it was time for her to leave, I started kicking and screaming and hollering and all this shit and making a fuss because I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there. So Linda does the same thing. She does the same thing. 1.5 blocks away, down from dropping her off at school. Check this out. You ain't gonna believe this. 1.5 blocks away from dropping her off at my school, my phone rang. When I got home, because we don't live that far. My phone rang. So I picked up my telephone. It was, please, Mr. Rashid, please come get your daughter. Come get your child immediately. Fuck! And the teacher said, fuck! Now, a kindergarten, a Get Set, she said, fuck. Come get your daughter. So I'm like, what happened? I dropped off at school. What happened? So I said, fuck. Then I turned my truck around, and already Linda and the teacher are standing out in front of the school, probably because she ran out after me. And she has glassy blue eyes. She has glassy blue eyes crying up a storm. She has glassy blue eyes crying up a storm and all. Immediately she runs up to me. Now her teacher is giving me an earful. You can imagine, I reckon. Linda didn't care as long as her father was back. And if you want to know a secret, deep down inside, I really didn't care. Now, like I said earlier, my mother did care and warned me to such nonsense. If I did the same thing, when I did it, she said, "I'm gonna kick your ass." Well, that's what my mother did to me. My mother ain't do what Linda did. See, my mother ain't do this shit. Like, all deep down inside, I don't care that little Rashid act like this is okay. But I'm doing it to Linda. You see, I'm giving her everything I didn't have, down to the bone. Down to the fucking bone. So deep down inside, I didn't care. Okay? And I'm saying how my mother said, if you did that to me, I'd kick your ass, That's just the way, normal mothers are today. But I'm not a normal parent. I'm not a normal parent. Not that my Linda do. So, such a nonsense. But for me, never will I do that to my Linda. You see, my mother she warned me to such nonsense. But for me, never will I do that to my Linda. I generally scoop her up like a father goose, and we were on our way. We were on our way, and homeschooling, yes, homeschooling is our final solution. Which, in my opinion, will be better, because I could really focus on her natural needs. Then I thought, natural needs. I like that. I like the way it sounds. Such differently from the language of local teachers. From then, I always heard special needs, but thought what I okay, let me do this again. It ain't my handwriting, it's just I crayon word. You know how loose leaf notebook paper looks. Got blue lines going across, guys. Alright, I got 2 sentences on each bar. And I got no space whatsoever. I got it all like it's nothing but words on this paper. You know how you're supposed to space it? Like loose leaf notebook paper has, bars going across it. Or I have 2 sentences on each. I don't have no space at all. Because it's a lot I want to say. And I don't want to take up too much paper. I'm cheap like that. I got a lot of paper, but I'm still cheap like that. So, I got a lot to say. So, it's a lot of words. And they all crammed up together. So, I'm trying to read this the fucking best. Alright, let me see here. Let me see. Alright. From then, I always heard special needs. Oh, from them. From the teachers. From society. From the Board of Education. From everybody. I always heard special needs. So from them, I always heard special needs. But I never thought, but I thought, what about natural needs? See, I got the special needs for my child. I got that shit. Your child got special needs. Your children need special needs. But what about natural needs? So then it says here, but I thought, what about natural needs? Setting her fully blossom, getting her fully blossom into womanhood naturally. Letting her fully blossom into womanhood naturally. Letting her fully blossom into womanhood naturally, dude. I'm talking without no restraint whatsoever. No restraint whatsoever. Naturally. I mean, after all, she was a special child. After all, needing special attention. So, why not I be her teacher? My daughter is the what word is the garden. My daughter is the garden, and I'm the gardener. Perfect pitch. My daughter is the garden, and I'm the gardener. You understand? And it ends in perfect pitch. Amazing. Look at that. Perfect pitch. Ain't that, don't that sound, and that's chapter 1. We're going to go into chapter 2 next time. This chapter was called The Love Reason. The Love Reason. The Chronicles of Linda Lees. We're going to go into chapter 2 next time. Look at that. It end perfect pitch. Now that was good reading there. Now when you watch the animation, when you watch the cartoon, you see why she liked it. Because I raised it that way. What if I said, you always hear about them saying your child needs special needs. What about natural needs? And then that's what I said. That's what you heard right here. Natural needs. But I thought, what about natural needs? Letting her fully blossom into womanhood naturally. Wow. That's never been done before. It's never been done before. Probably in the cult. Some of these stranger cults than us. I mean, like, but they beat their daughters and shit like that and restrain them and all. It's a difference. I wouldn't know, So that's it for this episode. Just sitting on this July 11th, 2020. July 11th is when this was written. So we talking, it's been sitting for a while. And the next chapter we're going to go into, and we're going to talk some more about why did I raise Linda this? What was the reason? It was a huge success. When I look at Linda, I see a real woman. A real woman is untainted from the world. Now, she doesn't have Down syndrome, but she has, she have issues like me. I have issues. She have issues. I'm a father. If I got issues, she gonna have issues. Ain't nobody mentally all there in the world any fucking way. So let's keep the shit real, But yet she's still a woman. She's still, she ain't like your average woman. An average woman probably been raised a different way if they was raised this way naturally. They probably be raised a kid killing and fighting. Everybody know that. Bitches like to fight and argue. So probably not Linda though. Linda is natural. Linda is different. So that's the end of that. That's the end of that. Don't matter how you take it, just take it. That's the end of that bullshit. Just take it. That's the end of that. Doesn't matter how you take it, just take it. Take it with a grain of salt, take it with a grain of sugar, take the shit with pumpkin seeds, just take it. That's just the way it is. I love my daughter. I love her. And this is the reason why I raised her that way. But that's over with. Now what I want to do, guys, is get y'all hip to something here. Now, you want to see that video again before we go into the suggestion book box? Okay, and look at the video once more time, guys, and then we can go into the suggestion book box. Check it out. Here's Linda Lee's Pillow Talk. Here we go. Now, that's good to see that. So we might show it some more in the Rashids Book Club. The book I want to offer you guys, if you got a chance, go to your audio book. Maybe it's an audio book. I don't know. But you got to check out this book right here, A Head Full of Ghosts. You got to check out A Head Full of Ghosts. Alright? The Master of Horror says something about this. Okay? You got to check this book out, A Head Full of Ghosts. You got to check it out. Winner of the 2015 Bram Stoker Award for Superior Achievement in the Novel. Here's the overview. A chilling thriller that brilliantly blends psychological suspense and supernatural horror. Remnants of Stephen King's The Shining, Shirley Jackson's The Haunted House on Hill, and William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist. The lives of Barretts, a normal suburban New England family, are torn apart when 14-year-old Marjorie begins displaying signs of acute schizophrenia. To her parents' despair, the doctors are unable to stop Marjorie's descent into madness, as their stable home develops into a house of horrors. They reluctantly turn to a local Catholic priest for help, Father Wanderley. Father Wanderley suggests an exorcism. He believes the vulnerable teenager is the victim of demonic possession. He also contacts a production company that is eager to document the Barretts' plight. With John, Marjorie's father, out of work for more than a year and the medical bills looming, the family agrees to be filmed and soon find themselves the unwilling stars of The Possession, a hit reality television show. When events in the Barrett household explodes in tragedy, the show and shocking incidents is captured become the stuff of urban legends. 15 years later, a best-selling writer interviews Marjorie's younger sister, Mary, as she recalls those long-ago events that took place when she was just 8 years old. Long-buried secrets and painful memories that clash with what was broadcast on television begin to surface, and mind-bending tales of psychological horror is unleashed, raising vexing questions about memory and reality, science and religion, and the very nature of evil. So guys, check this book out right here if you want some good reading. And Stephen King himself even commented on it. Let me see. When do I get to talk? I'm ready to talk now. Could you just wait a second? I told you I was going to introduce you when the time comes. Okay, I'm just saying I'm ready to talk. I've been waiting for a long time. Oh, there you go with that voice. Yes, I said this is the voice I'm going to use. All right. I like you better the first way. No, I like this way better. All right, I'll be right with you. I'll be right with you. This is what Stephen King said about the book. A head full of ghosts scared the living hell out of me, and I'm pretty hard to scare. And that's Paul Tremblay. And on the bottom there, it says P.S. Insight, interviews, and more. Insights, interviews, and more. That's on the bottom page. That's on the bottom of that red circle there. So, when you get a chance, check that out. The next book I want to recommend is The Rooms. The Rooms. It's just called Rooms, for what I understand. Yeah, Rooms. And this room book, which voice do you prefer, sir? I really don't care. I really don't, I'm calling you on in a few seconds, so. Oh, okay. Then I will gladly wait. All right, we'll gladly wait. It works for best. It works for all of us. The best things in life came with patience. Oh, you do say. I do say. So, I'll be right with you. Radio. Okay, radio. All right. Anyway, the next book I'm going to review is called Rooms. This one. Now, don't think for 1 second I'm just going to be doing horror and suspense and psychological. It's just that's what we specialize around here. So just know that Hey Rashid, what about mystery? So many tastes in the world. What about suspense? And okay, we got all of that. Just be patient with me. It's just I have a craving for the horror and psychological thrillers. Just hold on a bit. Rooms is by James L. Robert. James L. Robert. And it is a novel. And we have a overseer here. Give me 1 second. Okay. On a rainy spring day in Seattle, young software tycoon Micah Taylor receives a cryptic 25-year-old letter from a great uncle he never knew. It claims a house awaits him on the Oregon coast that will turn his world inside out. Suspecting a prank, Micah arrives at Cannon Beach to discover a stunning brand new 9,000 square foot house. And after meeting Sarah Sabin at a nearby ice cream shop, he has 2 reasons to visit the beach every weekend. When bizarre things start happening in the rooms of the house, Micah suspects they have some connection to his enigmatic new friend. Rick, the town mechanic. But Rick will only say the house is spiritual. This unnerves Micah because his faith slipped away little through the tides of the years. His faith slipped away, and he wants to keep it that way. But as he slowly discovers, the home isn't just spiritual; it is a cycle. It's a physical manifestation of his soul, which God uses to heal Micah's darkest wounds and lead him into an astonishing new destiny. An extraordinary read. It says part of screw tape letters, part the shack. Yeah. So get out and check this out. Get out and check this book out. Alright? That's another one for you guys. You won't be disappointed with Rooms by James L. Robert. Robert. Can I say so? Yeah. By all means, now give us your wisdom. I do say I enjoyed the Linda Lace. What should I call it? An autobiography. It's not. It could be a declaration of the father's opinions about questionable comments of what standing Linda Lace is, what standing she's in. He's just giving his declaration. It's just my declaration, that's all. Well, the declaration is of great importance when it comes to judging children today. I know. And thank you so much for your input. And if you don't mind, could you please answer me a question? Oh, yes. You mentioned Rashid's Dalmatian. Your Dalmatian there? Yeah, Dalmatian. What exactly? Well, Dalmatian is a segmented animated trilogy. A segmented animation trilogy. Yeah, you gotta see it. If you see it, you'll understand what it is. All right. So, guys, I did forget to tell you, we will be having yes, we will be having one. This is Plucky. I'm seeing a follower. Plucky is my name, and I'll be helping Rashid review books after end. What do you think about Rooms? Oh dear, is that a religious book? It sounds like a religious book. Plucky, the book Rooster. It sounds like a religious book when they say God is helping them find them, but it's not a religious book. It certainly is just a psychological thriller, it seems. Oh, I see. And what if the other one is, hey, the master of all horrors commented on that. So I think we have good findings with that. A head full of ghosts. A head full of ghosts. Yes. Oh, by Paul. By Paul Trembling. By Paul Trembling. Yes, indeed. And if King Common, it must be good. It's rather familiar. It's just like The Exorcist almost. Yes, that's what I was going to say. Yes, it's like The Exorcist, but we're talking about they went on live television in front of the world and something happened here. And this girl is rekindling, the youngest sister is rekindling. Oh, it sounds like a good read, a very good read. And that's why I'm suggesting it. Guys, get out to the bookstore, get these novels. And I guess that wraps it up for this sitting. So, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next time to Rashids Book Club, and we're going to get down with some more interesting things. So, don't miss out. We might have another video about it. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, anyway. Cheerio, everybody. Have a nice evening. This has been an RVT Rashids Video Tube social media television production. Up next on RVT Rashids Video Tube, it's the Rashid and Jan Show. Following that is Rashid's Cyber Tube. Once again, we're in the midst of mirth and cheer. And what better way but to spend your holiday season here on RVT, where it's Rashid all the time.